when your rival, I mean, like once you lose out of the tournament, you just want your rivals to lose. Like all
Yeah.
of those in
And
Kansas.
I have friends that are like, okay, well, I'm rooting for Michigan now. Like, no, those are words that should never be spoken.
Yeah, no,
Like, I'm sorry. Like,
yeah.
anything good
Everybody,
that happens to Michigan is bad for Michigan State. Like, come on,
I
get
hear
it
you.
together, people.
That's how it is with Kansas. How do I get applications? Skype. Oh man, I was just on hold with Disney and they didn't answer, so I was trying to hold on to the last minute. But
So
no.
I booked a this was like over a year ago, probably like 15, 18 months ago. I booked something with Jocelyn like really quick,
Mhm.
and then it was just like a 3-night stay or whatever. And then we had to move it, so I moved it to like Star Wars 2020, which obviously that didn't happen. So then I moved it to something else that didn't happen. Anyway, I moved this thing like 6 times.
Trust me,
And
I've had trips move like
yeah, I know. And I finally like nailed it down like this weekend. So it went from like an all-star movies to like a boardwalk, like 1-bedroom villa. And when I put the down payment on, it was like $800 or something because it wasn't discounted yet. Because you know how you have to do the one night.
Yep, that's a
So I
problem.
ended up switching it to 5 nights at Pop over Memorial Day weekend, and the Mountain Dew is $60 for the
Oh
whole
my gosh,
stay.
dude, that's a nice job. Yeah, pay
Yeah,
for it.
like okay, I mean, yeah, like I'm
One
fine with
night
Pop.
undiscounted or Pop Century for a week.
Yeah, so that's crazy. Like the one night not discounted room equals to about 5 discounted at Pop. Isn't that crazy?
That is nuts though. That is
So
wrong.
I'm pumped. So it's basically like a free trip at that point. I got the passes, I just gotta get some airfare. But
Take that. I can't wait. We will be down about a month. About 6 weeks.
nice.
I can't wait. They had a competition today. They didn't do very well. They had a
Oh
fall
shoot.
because it goes 25% on Saturday, 75% on Sunday, and they had a fall today. So they were like, wah, wah. But they'd already qualified. So it was just, if they would have won today, they would have got a paid bid, which means everything's paid for, which I'd have liked.
Yeah, yeah.
Focus. They didn't. So you can do. Okay. Let me hit this. And let's do this. All right. We'll have something to talk about here. Oh, let me turn that iPad. I'll leave the iPad on. No, I'll turn it off. You got too many screens going here, like 6 screens. Okay. Here we go. Well, hey, everybody. Happy Sunday night to everybody tuned in live here on Facebook and YouTube. And happy Thursday to everybody checking out the show here on the Be Our Guest podcast feed. Thanks so much for being here. Either way, live or on the feed, we love having you as a listener of the show and hope you always enjoy these podcasts, and especially this live BOGP Open Line where we get together as a family and talk about the Disney news of the week and anything else that tickles the funny bone that we want to talk about in the Disney community, because there's always plenty to talk about. I mean, there could be no news. There's not a lot of news this week, but we'll find something to talk about over the next hour and get some different voices out there here on the show, because that is what our podcast is always about. It's about sharing your stories, about our stories. And, sometimes it's not the big stuff. It's the little stuff. You're like, dang, that was a great snack, or dang, that was a great way to go around Epcot. So I didn't have to wait in line for 20 minutes to do something that, could have taken 5. So we're going to have a good time tonight. Of course, we are recording this show live on Facebook and YouTube for posterity's sake. We're checking this one out starting this one on Sunday night, March 21st, 2021. So if you're listening in 2027, hey, we're getting there. And we'll make it. All right. Joining me as always, we have my buddy Scott from up in Michigan. You can check him out at Palm Trees of Disney on Instagram and at EpScott on Instagram and Twitter. Scott, happy Sunday night.
Happy Sunday. I don't know about you, Mike, but the weather here was awesome in Michigan. Both days this weekend, but especially today on Sunday, made sure I got some sun. I was out in the sun for about 4 to 5 hours, and I'm a little sunburned today, but feeling good.
Yeah, you kind of you have that complexion where I would imagine like the early season sun can be a little bit dangerous for you.
Yeah, it's sneaky is what it is. As someone that goes to Florida all the time, like I always got the sunscreen with me ready to go, but you get that first nice outdoor day in Michigan, I don't even think about the sunscreen, and man, it just sneaks up on you and bites you.
I'll tell you what. So I grew up, and if you listen to Mike in the Midwest, I'm always telling stories about growing up in this town called Florissant, where we moved from just about a year and a half ago at this point. And we had and we'll talk about this in May on the show, but every year our town's kind of birthday celebration, we had this weekend. It was called Valley of Flowers, because that's what Florissant means in French, the Valley of the Flowers. And so it was, it's like our town celebration. We have a fair, and there's stuff at the Civic Center. There's a big parade on Sunday. And the whole town comes out. If you're on a baseball team, you're getting hauled, like in Little League, the trailer, you're in the back, you're in the parade. It's a big deal. But it's so funny because and it's always the first full weekend of May. And for everybody in Florissant, that was when you got your first sunburn of the year, no matter what, because you would sit there for the parade for 3 hours thinking, oh, it's only 65, but it was sunny, and you sat in the direct sun and everybody that first weekend, even when I went back, teaching, we were in Florissant, all the kids would come back just sunburned,
that's hilarious. Yeah, I totally get that. And today was a combination of windburn too, which is no joke either. I was out, man. I took a nap when I got home from being out in the sun, wrapped up in a nice blanket. And I was like, oh man, it's 7:00 Eastern time. We got to record the show with Mike.
Right out of bed, Elizabeth, get Scott up, get him. And get him. And if Elizabeth was like, Emily, get them both up. We got to do a show. Get them away from Cadova. It's not open. No, so brackets busted. Lot. Of course, we're not going to talk basketball tonight because I kind of on Twitter said everything doesn't need to be in brackets in March. We don't have to say, people mover against Haunted Mansion. It always turns out pretty much the same. But yeah, Mizzou reliably falls out of the tournament first round. So whatever.
Not a good opening weekend for the Madness. As my team went out early as well. We were in a unique situation. We were part of the first four, and I hate the idea last four in, first four out kind of business, but that was Michigan State this year. And I sent you a text after Mizzou dropped, and I just said, you know what? I feel like the season doesn't even count anyway, because it just didn't feel like a real season. So that's the way I'm looking at it.
So just for the record, I try and when Michigan State lost, I didn't text you for a while. I was giving you your time. When Mizzou loses, give me some time. Whatever I say, because I was actually texting with my buddy Jonathan, Monkey Man up in Canada. He owns the big bakery. He's been on the Food Network with his bakery and so forth. He's a talented. You got to check him out on Instagram. Just look for Monkey Man Cakes Canada, and he does these amazing cakes. I mean, they look unbelievably real, and they're cakes. But he was texting me during it, he's like, oh, they can come. I'm like, no, you don't understand. It's just pain. I don't know why I see myself. It is poke my eyes out. Yeah,
we don't even text each other during the games because
no.
I might as well just go on do not disturb because I am on edge during any Spartan game.
He did not know. I was like, no. Okay. So anyway, let's get to the Disney talk. Let's hit the news. We have a light news week. And again, tonight, I really want to kind of get some more feedback because we didn't spend enough time on it last night. Kind of, are you team Magic Band or are you team, make sure I get this right, Magic Mobile, the moving of all of the contactless payments, the RFID to your mobile device? It's for me, it's a hybrid, I think. I'm kind of probably just going to use the phone for the most part, but I mean, Magic Bands are fun. I get that. So we'll be talking about that, but we have some treats for Easter, of course, coming to Walt Disney World from Ricky over at themouseforless.com. So you can check that out. I mean, I'm just going to, again, we got into that rabbit hole last week with all the treats that are everywhere, but there are, I'm just going to kind of, again, pictures. It's an audio podcast. But there's some treats over at Animal Kingdom at Tiffin's that kind of look like a little Easter basket. Very cute little cakes, little half dome cakes. Le Cellier has a nice little cake. Amorette's, of course, killing it. The Ganachery's got some stuff. Ghirardelli. I mean, they're everywhere. This one's really cute. At the world premiere food court, which is at All Star Movies. You wouldn't expect that. It's also at Landscape of Flavors over at Art of Animation. Everything Pop. So this is your value resort cute little thing. It's called the Extraordinary Cupcake, and it's a vanilla cupcake with lemon filling, vanilla buttercream, and sugar eggs. But it looks like a little bunny. It's like the cutest thing ever. So yeah, there's tons of
cute to eat, right?
It is. No, it's not too cute to eat. I'd tear that thing up. But there's lots of great pictures. So go over to themouseforless.com, click on the news section of the site there, and you can see all the pictures, and you will be hungry. I promise you. You will be hungry. Now, some other news that it wasn't, on the Mouse for Less. A couple things. I saw that the Chateau, the old hat store right there as you go into the Magic Kingdom, is going down for a rather lengthy refurb. But I think they've moved the hats I'm trying to figure. I'm looking here. I'm scanning. Somebody
I
put
hope
it.
they move the hats for my sake. As you know, I like to get those hats for
Same.
my team members at work, and that can be a disaster if I can't get hats.
Yep. Oh yeah, they've moved them over to the Town Square Theater. So if you're looking for your hats, your ears, anything that sits on top of your head, the Chavo has been moved over to the Town Square Theater. So there you go. You're good. Oh, I would imagine they've also moved the machine that prints the
The
names on the
embroidery machine. Yep.
Rose and Crown back open. Hadn't been open in forever. You a Rose and Crown fan?
I'm a big Rose and Crown fan.
Back open. They have obviously reset up the restaurant for physical distancing, is what Disney calls social distancing. Some plexiglass been installed. I've only eaten at Rose and Crown one time, and it was at the end of that
Yeah.
undiscovered world showcase tour that I did. It was like a private tour because it was just me and one couple that didn't speak English, and so
You were there for when we watched the Illuminations too. Remember?
That's right. Yeah, we sat on the deck. Yes. Okay, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, that was the best night. Oh my gosh, that was the elimination. I forgot about that. Yeah, but Scotch egg. So the Scotch egg was like my jam both times there. So what's your go to at Rose and Crown?
I do the fish and chips, which is kind of silly because like you can spend like almost like a third less of the cost to just get it at the counter service like next door. But like I just love their fish and chips, and it's no surprise here that I like to have an adult beverage every now and then, and they have some excellent beers at Rose and Crown. So that's if I'm in a beer mood, that's where I like to be.
Absolutely. And finally, now I saw this on Twitter today, and I can't find it, but at the studios, and I said it was on the Touring Plans Twitter feed. They have two new snacks that came out today, and I'm all about these because obviously it's spring, like you mentioned. It was a nice day up in Michigan. It was beautiful in Missouri this weekend, so it's got me thinking of like spring treats and stuff like that around the Easter time. And they had a thing. It looked like a parfait, but it was basically like a strawberry shortcake in a cup. It had like whipped cream, strawberries, some other things in there, like crust of like graham cracker crust and so forth. Oh, and it's at Rosie's All-American Cafe. And there was also some kind of like little sandwich. It's got, the sweet and the salty all mixed together. So check that out. But I'm glad
that sounds good.
They're coming out with some good snacks. I mean, the thing is obviously Instagram worthy, but these snacks were like, I think they were $4.99 and $5.99. So I'm all about that because I know some snacks sometimes get up to be like $9.99, $12.99. I'd rather have these little $5 snacks and be able to have a few of them as I'm going around the park.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say, because I saw this on social media today, that like, because I've seen this at Epcot too, where some of the characters they're adding some more like social distance character meet and greets, like at the front for like Pluto. I saw there was a download one at Hollywood Studios going on today too, so that's kind of cool. Like I kind of like those. You snap the selfie and whatnot. Pretty good idea.
And I think Disney's kind of right now they're in that stage where they haven't really announced much, right? They're just kind of putting it out there because you got to realize, I mean, more people are now getting vaccinated. Of course, they can't. I don't know. We can have this discussion tonight. This is your show. We'll talk about it. So give us a call here in just a second. But when you think about it, as we get in this vaccination, evolution, from right now to maybe, late summer, fall, whenever everybody has the opportunity, if they wanted to get the shot, they could have it. I think Disney's going to have a really tough time with this though, for the fact that there's no physical indication that you're fully vaccinated, right? I mean, like say that I'm not vaccinated and I go to Walt Disney World, when they want to get rid of the masks and they want to bring back normal Walt Disney World, normal meet and greets, less physical distancing, all the stuff that we're normally used to, right? Club level, hotel, all that good stuff. Ohana being open. We miss a lot of that good stuff. But the thing is, like, you can't see if somebody has been vaccinated. They can't make you carry around a card. They can't be like, show your card, you don't have to wear a mask. So I think they're going to have to be super conservative on that. But also at the same time, they're also going to have to kind of move from very restrictive to less restrictive slowly to get there. You can't just one day, I don't think, go from where we are today to like, okay, we're wide open. I mean, what do you think about that? How it's going to evolve from where we are today, masks, physical distancing, everything in place, to back wide open like we were in 2019.
It's going to have to be a slow move. Maybe it's maybe you start smaller, like at restaurants or whatever, like, you can check in without your mask on, or maybe it spreads out to some of the resorts a little bit, I mean, you kind of already had that in the pool area, but maybe in some other public areas at the resorts, it slowly starts to lax on some of those rules. And then eventually it just spreads to the resort. I feel like you have to start small. I'm just glad I don't have to make that decision. Like that's going to be tough. Like those meetings that they're in.
Yeah. And I was having this discussion with one of my guests at the Magic for Less. She listens to the podcast. She's a patron of the show. And we were talking via email. She was just down at Walt Disney World at Pop Century with her family. She's got 3 young children. She's been there many times. So she knows what it's like. And she knew that, things were going to be different. We had that discussion and she understood that and she totally got it. But the thing is that, Disney, I think over the last week or two with spring break descent, I mean, you saw this really in Miami, right? Like people just want to get out and want to go places and people are descending on places like Walt Disney World. And I don't know, Disney's not 100% staffed. I don't think the way it needs to be for the crowds that are there right now, but I think this is the first time they've had a spring break, like coming out of a pandemic too. So, they had to, lay people off, put people on furlough and so forth. And I think it's, they're going to be bringing people back, cast members back, which is good. But I think it's just that maybe they overextended themselves a little. It's hard, I think, for them to kind of determine what it's going to look like. And I hope that every day they're kind of learning and adjusting to crowds right now. And because I think this is just a preview of the summer. I mean, as more people get vaccinated, more people are wanting to travel. I mean, I see it in my business, right? People want to travel. We've been stuck inside. So,
yep. And I feel like I'm a big fan of the masks. And I feel like even if they get rid of the mask, like I feel like I'm still going to want to wear the mask for a little bit, and I just hope for me, like I hope I don't get like judged at all when I'm down there. You know what I mean? Like it's fine if I'm with you and you don't want to wear your mask or whatever, but like I don't want that to start problems at the parks. You know what I mean? About guests just getting, because it's such a hot topic, right, Mike?
I mean, because I'm the opposite, right? I'm ready to burn mine. Like, I mean, and it's just me, right? I mean, where it's required, I'm a rule follower. I will wear it, but the day that I can, light those suckers on fire, that's a happy day for me. Because again, normally I wear glasses. When I put it on, my glasses instantly fog up and I can't see well anyway. And then I really can't see. But I mean, I know it's for the common good. And, I, as required, I'll always wear it because that's the thing to do. But it's just, like you don't realize the things that you had until they're gone. Like, I just want to go back to where it was just like 2019, cause I swear, like I'll walk in, get ready to go into a restaurant around here and just totally, I feel like I'm walking, like I don't have this on. I'm like walking in a restaurant naked, I'm sick of that feeling. It freaks me out. Anyway, yeah, it's a tough call, but I hope we get there quick. And the vaccinations look like they're going well, exceedingly well. So we shall see. But yeah, I'm ready for normal times. All right, so give us a call. We can open up the phone lines now. We've been doing enough yakking at 407, our favorite area code, 413-9395, 407-413-9395. If you don't know, that is WDW5 on the back end. It's a vanity phone number. I think I pay $5 extra a year for that, people. So make sure you know that.
407 called me yesterday. I'm a very aggressive Disney Vacation Club cast member that keeps calling me just about every week these days.
I had to block her. What was her name? Like Ivanka? Or
yeah. Mine's different, but yeah.
She was trying to work me over.
I was not me
out of that place alive without signing a contract. Anyway. All right. We got Alfred on the line. Alfred, hey, happy Sunday night.
Happy Sunday. Happy spring to you guys.
Yes. Happy equinox. It's nice here.
Yes.
Very happy to see spring here.
I know, here too. Finally, some nice weather.
Don't say that though, because it'll go away just as fast as it came in. It always happens.
I know. Well, we had a little bit of snow during the week, so.
Yuck.
Yeah, that's what. Well, we didn't. It wasn't that bad, but.
Yeah. No. I'm a wuss. Like
hopefully we got rid of it.
You've seen me lately. I won't even go outside to run unless it's like 45. I've been so soft. Like before I got the treadmill, if it was above 20, I was good. And now I'm just like, it's 39. It might be a little chilly on my fingers. Oh yeah. Anyway, so what's going on? What do you got? What do you want to talk about tonight?
I think a little bit about what you were talking about with the masks, because I don't think Disney's getting rid of them anytime soon. Sorry to say.
I agree.
I posted something on social media today, and it was basically like, who would not wear a mask, that type of thing. And I won't get into the political aspect of it, but basically exactly those people that Reddit are the ones that complained on my site, on my picture. So I think it's going to be very tough because there are certain parts of the country that are rebelling against this about getting the vaccine. So
yeah, I mean, I'll be
how
honest. Where I'm from, it's 50-50. Like in Gallup polls, it's going to be 50-50. Like and it's less where I live. But I mean, to me, you got to do what you got to do. I've never been anybody else's business. I do what's good for my family, and take care of myself. Right. I mean, I don't know that I'm right. I don't know that I'm wrong. I'm not that smart. I just try to make a good judgment. But I mean, you're right. I think with the mask issue, though, which is kind of more the thing that we need to worry about as Disney fans, is that they're going to have to be conservative, right? Because definitely. I mean, right now it's not such an international gathering, but I mean, think about your last trip before COVID. I mean, you're always standing at some point during the day, you're standing next to somebody from a different continent, like just constantly. I mean, it's stirring the pot. So I think you need to be very safe with that.
Right. And like, I'm getting my second vaccination on Wednesday, and you get a card. And actually they did tell me that if you travel, you need to have that card with you. It's sort of like your passport in a way. So you do need it. It's important. So maybe that is something you hit on with Disney. Maybe they will need to check your card and make sure you're vaccinated.
No, see, Disney won't do that because they can't even do that for DAS. So, and I would have a problem with that. I would have a serious problem with them asking to see a card. Now, for an airplane, I don't have a problem with it. Because what?
Disney Cruise Line will be different too. I bet you Disney Cruise Line will need it.
And you know what? We had this conversation. Like, if you're going to want to cruise, any cruise line, like you're going to have to get vaccinated. So, I mean, that's
right.
I'll be honest with you. I've never had a flu shot in my entire life. I do not like needles, but I also don't get the flu. I went to a new doctor, had to get my blood drawn the other day. I told the lady, I'm like, I might pass out. Dude, I can't look. Like, is it over? Is it? I know I'm a wuss, but it's one of those things. I want to cruise, so that's going to be my carrot. Like it's the same thing. Right. I mean, it's like that in life, though, right? Like if I want to run a race, like the carrot of getting up in the morning to practice is like a medal or a trip to Walt Disney World. It's not that I want to run. Right. It's that I want to have the incentive. Oh, Scott, what do you feel about that? I mean, I think kind of everything in life is like, okay, cause and effect. Like you got to do this to get that kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a tricky, subject.
But I mean, I feel like we can have a discussion here. I mean, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying I'm right at all.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I'm right.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to see the card. Mike, you made a good point about the DAS card, right? But I don't know that they could do something like at check-in, right? Kind of like what you do with Disney Cruise Line. Maybe that's part of the check-in process now. Like, but I don't know, because now they want you to go straight to your room to avoid going to the lobby. So maybe that doesn't work either, right? Like, I don't know. Maybe you just got to upload it to My Disney Experience. There you go.
Can you imagine the fakes they would have? Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. Is like we're in unprecedented times. I mean, I'm going to I play by the rules, right? I mean, if they lay out the rules, that's rules. We'll play.
And that's why I think the mask will be around for a while longer.
Right.
So yeah.
I agree. I agree with that. I think the mask will be around for quite a while. I really do.
They pretty much said like at least into 2022, so we can count on that.
Yeah. So the next thing is I was watching another podcast today, and he mentioned the Epcot Hotel for the first time. Now, he noticed work right up in February, so about 7 weeks ago. And I'm like, how did he not see anything, till now? So I'm wondering, is there any news coming out of that? Is it still going forward?
So that you're talking about that hotel that was proposed, that proposed hotel that was kind of right over near where the bus load and unload is at Epcot?
Yep.
I haven't heard a peep about that. Scott, have you?
Nope, I haven't. Alfred, I haven't even thought about that until just now in like a year.
I know,
so.
Right?
Like, I totally forgot about that. So that's news to me. they're still working on that,
The last
developing it.
write-up by Epcot was in February. So I'm just like wondering, what's your take on it? Do you think it's going to happen? Or is it going to end up like Reflection?
I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, here's what I say. I think that they had an idea for it, right? And when they had the idea, I mean, the economy was pumping, the travel was like they were just like, okay, we can get to these, like, it's kind of like when you have a crowdfunding thing and then you have like they're called like extended goals or whatever, like, you funded the project, but we have these extra things because we got so much more money coming in than we thought. I think that hotel was kind of one of those situations where we can do this because things are so good. We can try kind of things that are extending ourselves. Now, think about it right now, though. I mean, they have a lot of resorts sitting completely closed. So why do you need a new hotel? Why do you need the cost of construction 5 years from? Because I think I seriously think coming out of this, it's going to be like the Roaring 20s. It's going to be crazy here for a few years. Everybody's because people have been saving their travel budgets. They've been sitting around the house. They're ready to go. And so I think it's going to be crazy. Like they may need this hotel in 3 years and they may need to build it then. But I think it's going to be, they're just going to be like, okay, let's hold off. Let's get everything back going. And then let's revisit this.
Yeah. I think that's what's going to happen too. I think they'll see what it looks like in a year and a half. During the 50th, they're going to look at how many people are coming and, and how many are they able to open up capacity and all that kind of stuff. And then they're going to say, okay, are our hotels open? If they're all open by then they may consider work on a new one. So it's always good because hotels will bring in money, rooms, food, all of that. So I think it is a beneficial thing to have, but I think they have to wait also, like you said. So I think we could get something by 2024.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm all for it too. Like resorts are my favorite thing now. Like I love the parks, but like I just love being at resorts. So give me more options. More options in the resort categories would be great for me.
I agree. And I really hope they would reconsider Reflection because I think that was going to look beautiful.
I think they will. But I think because of its location, it's in a great spot. Now, maybe this is also their chance because it didn't get the best like feedback when they saw the initial like artist renderings. Maybe they spice it up a little. People were saying it kind of looked plain, but again, when I saw the Riviera on paper, I was like, oh, dude, that thing is ugly. And like I love the Riviera. The Riviera is so
I know, me too.
So I don't know. I don't think paper does justice to what the final product is.
No, exactly. But I don't think they're dead forever. I think it's just dead till we get through the mess that we're in.
I agree.
And then we're going to see things open up and new things happen.
It's going to open fast.
I think so too. I think once the 50th comes, I think they're going to see things really change. I think by then we're going to be up to 50% capacity on October 1st.
I would say that's fair.
I really think. Yeah.
Because I think by October 1st, to be honest, everybody that wants to be vaccinated should. I mean, if they're saying May,
will be.
I mean, October is another 5 months, or so. So, yeah, I mean, they're going to, I would assume so.
Yeah, it makes sense. What else did I want to say?
Got lots of
now
comments.
I can't remember.
Wait,
this is a hot topic tonight.
I know, the chat room is flying. So yes, you got him going. You got him going, Alfred. I appreciate that. That's good for all of us. All right, well, hey, I'm going to duck out because I got a few people trying to get in, but we'll talk to you next Sunday night, buddy. Have a good week.
Sounds good.
See you later.
Talk to you guys later.
Okay.
Bye.
All right, let's get our next call. I believe it's Eric. Eric, is it you up in Connecticut?
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
Yes, it is.
Say hey to Scott.
Hello, Eric.
Hi, Scott. I got to get used to you being there, Scott. Sorry.
I know it's weird, isn't it?
All right. really, really quickly, because I don't have much time myself, I think the question about when Disney gets rid of the masks, we'll know when we know what metric they're using. Like, are they looking at national mask rates? Are they looking at when the international people come back? I think what they're going to be looking at the most is the rate of vaccination and the rate of transmission in Central Florida, because that's where their cast members are. And they're going to be concerned about that. I think that's what we're looking at. That's how they're going to make the decision.
Totally makes sense to me. I mean, you got to look at the area that you're in, and that makes a good point though about the international travel, because I think that that's a good question, because that's going to be the ultimate test, right? When you get international travel, that means, and there's like no restrictions like 2019, because that is where the ultimate test comes in, because you have a global community. I mean, it's like, I feel like I'm talking about Epcot, right? I mean, it's like you will have people from every corner of the earth kind of all interacting together. So if you have anything, say in, Japan, kind of some kind of Japanese strain, somebody from Tokyo, well, they 18 hours ago, they were in Tokyo. Now they're having dinner at, beer garden, sitting at the same table with you under normal circumstances. So you have to be conservative. Like, we didn't think about those things, but I think Disney has to think about those kind of really kind of outlier situations now.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll see.
Scotty. So I see Scotty nodding over here. So
yeah. I'm just in agreement. Yeah,
that's agreement there. All right, that's all I got. You guys have a great rest of the night. Okay.
Absolutely. Okay. See you, Eric. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, he's spot on though. Like, I totally agree with that. You got to look at metrics from what other areas of the U.S. and worldwide, what's happening.
Yeah, it's almost like you got to kind of look at like the worst spot that you could draw from and then go from there. It's like that least common denominator situation, right? You just have to, you got to go with, oh, well, we can't, got to be careful. All right, we got another call on me. All right, next caller. Hey, who's joining us?
Hello, this is Mickey, and I'm from Michigan.
Oh my gosh.
Hey!
We are popular in Michigan. I love that.
Very popular in Michigan. I'm in Southwest Michigan, Kalamazoo.
Oh, awesome. I was in, I went to Hoffmaster State Park yesterday in Muskegon, so I was kind of over on that side a little bit yesterday.
You got in early then.
Yep. What's going on tonight? What's on your mind?
So a couple of things. I'm team Apple Watch only if they have the little AP band like they do on the Magic Band. Otherwise, I'm team Magic Band.
Another thing I've said, besides the Apple Watch being underutilized by Disney from the day that it came out with My Disney Experience, is that they are missing the boat with not having Apple Watch bands in every store. How many people have Apple Watches? And think about it, like, I have probably 20. Now they're all like $5 knockoffs from Amazon. Don't get me wrong. Like different colored rubber Apple Watch bands. They could do every Magic Band, Orange Bird, Flower and Garden Festival band. I mean, just like the Magic Bands. They're leaving money on the table.
They totally are. And I would be buying all of them because I still buy a new Magic Band every time I go.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so you're team Apple Watch. I'm with you. I like my Apple Watch.
Yeah.
Easy.
So a couple of things really quick, just Disney math. I know we all love our own Disney math. We all have our way of figuring things out of like, okay, if I do my 20% off with my AP, I get this. If I get the, just purchasing things, I just love Disney math. That's the best math out there.
Should they not teach that between like 11th and 12th grade in high school? That should be, it should be like algebra, geometry, advanced algebra, Disney math, trigonometry. I advocate for that. Helps my business. I
agree. And I also think that it's like, like those life courses that they have you take in high school. I think they still do. That's one of those life courses.
It is. Oh, quick note about Mike Rallman. My junior year, the only class I got a B in, I got straight A's because I was a nerd. Just because the teachers like me, not because I'm smart. Because I was a teacher's pet kind of kid. I became a teacher. I mean, come on. But here's the thing. My only class I got a B in was a class called Independent Living. Because that, and I still to this day, that lady did not like athletes. She did not give an athlete an A in that class. She would not give an athlete an A. If you were in a varsity sport, nope. And I cooked my mac and cheese on the stove. I folded my clothes. I did my little sewing project. It wasn't very good. I admit that. But I did everything I was supposed to, and I got a B. Whatever. I'm still bitter. 92.
Oh,
That was
man, that kind of
1991.
stinks.
Yeah, dude, because I was like a straight A and I didn't get it because of her. I took an honors class to make up for it. But whatever.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
okay. You're not an overachiever at all. Not at all.
No. Yeah, well, my parents would have kicked my butt. That was how it was back in the day. So just like I am now, it's kind of scary.
So I love it. So quick question for you. We have, my family and I, we've never been to Disneyland. And with it opening it up and so forth, and I know it won't be until probably next summer, but if you had a choice, what hotel would you pick for going for your very first time to Disneyland?
We got the Disneyland expert here.
That's a tough one. So my favorite is the Grand Californian. I love that resort. Reminds me of Wilderness Lodge. You can enter the DCA that way. But I think for our first time, you kind of want, and as being a Disney fan, like I'm assuming you are, because you're talking about Disney Math and all these AP bands. So I know you're a hardcore Disney fan. So you had to go with the Disneyland Hotel for your first time out there, for sure.
Disneyland Hotel. Awesome. Cool.
If you're staying on site, I'm assuming you're wanting one of the 3 on-site hotels. If not, there's some. Okay.
And that's the funny part. I would totally want one of the on-site hotels. And I know there's a cost implication to it and, and so forth. But with how much I love Disney and my planning, I mean, I go so far as to my next trip has a Google document set up with each of the parks, with each of the rides that I must ride, along with the food I must eat, and if there's any shopping that I must do. So I can pull it up on my phone so I don't forget.
I love it. That's awesome. Yeah, so I've been to Disneyland 4 times, and I've done twice on site, twice off site. Both obviously have their perks, but for the first time traveling all that way out there from, Southwest Michigan, like you got to go out there and go to Disneyland Hotel for sure.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. Hey, you guys have a great evening and enjoy this warm weather that we're getting right now.
Yes,
absolutely.
And just for the record, I apologize for the dog because somebody decided to fire up the tractor right outside the window to cut the grass, even though it's 6:30. Oh, it's going to be light for another hour, I guess. But yeah, first grass cutting of the year during a podcast. It never fails. Like I must have a light that says, "Man podcasting in this corner of the house. Let's fire up the tractor and run right by his window every time." I'm going to throw rocks.
I love it. That's hilarious.
Dogs here. I appreciate it. Well, hey, I'm with Scott because Scott's raved actually though about the offsite hotel that was it Quality Inn? No,
it's the Fairmont.
Yeah, and you've raved about that. So have the Shine Golds, but like I'm saying both. Like if I'm going all that way, Disneyland Hotel first time. I'll pay extra.
Yeah,
God,
you got Trader Sam's. You got Walt Disney artwork all over the place, and you're right there, like in downtown Disney. Like you just can't go wrong. There's a great first time.
Nice.
Okay, perfect. That's what we're going to do then.
Thanks, Colin. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. Have a good week.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right.
I know. I will say, though, the Grand Californian is my ultimate favorite. But as a Disney fan, I will always say the first time you gotta go to Disneyland Hotel, right? Or maybe do a split stay between the two.
Yeah, there you go. It's expensive, but
it is expensive. It's so expensive. But how often do you go out there?
I know, seriously. I know, never. I've never been. Anyway. Yeah. All right, we have our next caller on the line. Who's joining us?
Hi, Mike. This is Olivia.
Hey, Olivia. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Where are you from?
I'm from North Carolina, and I'm calling tonight because I have a bone to pick with you, Mike.
Oh, let me get my finger close to the button. Whatever I said, I'm sorry. No,
I'm just going to say we love your restaurant at Old Key West, though. Like, hopefully that'll help soften the blow.
That's what I was going to say. I love your buttermilk chicken.
Thank you. I've never been there, but every time you talk about it on the podcast, I feel so special, since it's my name and everything. So
good. So good. Okay, what you got?
Well,
what'd I say?
Okay, my bone to pick with you is that last week you called Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway a, quote, glorified dark ride, I believe.
I think it is.
I love that ride, Mike.
Yeah.
Do you not love that ride?
No, but I mean, I love. It's a small world. It's a dark ride if you think about it on a boat. I mean, Pirates of the Caribbean's a dark ride on a boat. It's a classic. It's one of my favorite rides of all time. I'm not saying it's just not. It's not a thrill ride to me. I mean, that's
Right,
kind of
right.
maybe I'm describing it wrong. I don't know, Scott. How would you describe Mickey?
I don't know, man. Like I'm kind of with Olivia the way you described that last time, and I'm just gonna say for the record that is my favorite attraction at Hollywood Studios, even with all the Star Wars and Toy Story stuff. That is number one for me.
That's
yeah.
awesome. I'm with you there. Yeah. I get it, Mike. I guess I get what you're saying. I wonder if like see, I wrote it right before the parks closed, and there was really no like major buildup for me. I wasn't like, highly anticipating this ride, so I didn't really go in with any expectations, and so it like greatly exceeded my expectations. Do you think expectations got built up, during COVID, since so many people didn't get to ride it before? Do you think it has anything to do with that, or?
Yeah.
It was in a weird spot though with the COVID closure, right? Because like it was like a week, and then nobody else got to ride it, so. Yeah, it's a good point.
And that might be why I like it so much, because during like the 3 or 4 months, during the shutdown, like I was like, there's this new attraction that I haven't done yet. Like that's going to be the first thing I want to do, So I just had all this excitement for it. And that's kind of what I think about every time I do it now. I was like, hey, this is like the thing I was looking forward to most coming back was doing this attraction. So it kind of holds that memory for me.
That makes sense. And I thought it was awesome because we were not in Hollywood Studios the day it opened, but we were in, I think, Magic Kingdom the day it opened. And then a couple days later we did it and I loved it. But I have a hot take. See, my expectations were so high for Flight of Passage because all I heard for years was how like amazing it was. And then maybe I would call Flight of Passage a glorified Soarin'. I don't know. I didn't think it was as like earth shattering as everyone told me it would be. Am I alone in that, or?
I like Soarin' better, but I get why people like Flight of Passage. It's cool technology. Like when you're on the Banshee, you can feel like breathing, like on your, like it's breathing, you're riding on its back. And I mean, it's super immersive, but for me, I get motion sick. So it's kind of a nonsense. I'll do it every once in a while. On the right spot. But I mean, I get what you're saying. I mean, how dare you? No, just kidding. I have a bone to pick with you, Olivia. I don't know. So let me ask you, I got to ask you this though. How would you describe, because I want to make sure, give me some ideas here. I mean, I consider Mickey and Minnie's an e-ticket attraction. I do consider it that. I don't consider it a thrill attraction. So if I had to describe, because, people outside of us are, people that are here today with us, they don't understand what you mean by an e-ticket attraction, but hopefully they understand by like a dark ride, like it's a ride inside.
Right.
It kind of tells a story. It's like kind of how I think about it. How would you describe it?
Mike, I'm an English teacher, so I think when you use the word glorified, I think that's what triggered me.
Is that not good though? I mean, it's like, is that not adding to it?
No, it makes it sound like you think it's like no better than It's a Small World or Peter Pan. Why don't you say enhanced dark ride?
That's what I meant. That's exactly what I meant. I'm not okay. I butcher the English language 3-4 days a week here on the podcast. That's exactly.
Yeah, enhanced is good, and you could throw in like with some of the best technology in attractions
Yeah, it's the only ride at Disney World besides Rise of the Resistance that has the trackless right now until Remy's opens. And man, that trackless ride technology, man, that is fun because you don't know where you're going. You don't know what to expect next. And I mean, not only that, but all the projections, they look amazing. But then also, again, you don't know what to expect. Like anything could happen on that ride. Like you can't predict what's going to happen next unless you've already seen it or rode it. And it's just so fun. It reminds me of all the old cartoons, which I guess is what they were going for. It just I felt like I was in one of those cartoons and just going from one gag to the next. It's just a hoot for all ages. But no, you're right, it's definitely not a thrill ride, but I love it. So I'm glad to hear you like the ride too. Okay, I wasn't sure anymore.
I do like it. It's not my favorite at Hollywood Studios. I don't even know what my favorite is.
Maybe Studios is just loaded with greatness, but
Prize probably.
Oh yeah, Studios is it's got so many amazing things right now. So yeah, that's a hard one to say. But
okay, let me ask you this real quick, Olivia, before you get back to seasoning up the buttermilk, because now I can't even think about it. Like I'm like my mouth's watering thinking about Olivia's. God, I love that chicken. Okay, so let me ask you this though. From what we know, I don't know. You've obviously seen how Ratatouille is going to work. I mean, that whole, nobody's been on it unless you've been to over to France, but would you describe thinking Ratatouille and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway like almost like very, very similar? You would use the same terminology as an enhanced dark ride for Ratatouille at the same time?
Yes, I was bad. I'm like you. I really, really don't like spoilers. I really want to just experience it the way that it is. But at some point, I think I just, I kind of had a cheat moment, and I watched the like first person point of view video on YouTube of like the one in Paris. So I kind of cheated there. But yeah, I think it seems very similar to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, I guess, in just the ride mechanics and the level of thrill, I guess. So, yeah, I'd put that in enhanced dark ride, I guess, category. It's a new category. I don't know what to call it, but not glorified dark ride. Just don't call it that.
I will never call that again. If I do, call me again and be like, Mike, you said you would not use that term anymore. And I will not.
Okay.
That's what I do. No, hey, thanks for the call. That's very fun to think about. It is, and I think you've made the point, right? It's a new experience, so we got to come up with new terminology to kind of match, what the expectation is. Because again, I'm always talking with people like at cheer, like Mallory had a cheer competition today, and they're going down to Disney next month for a big competition at Wide World of Sports. And you're talking to people that, they don't know the difference between Epcot and the Magic Kingdom. So you can't really be like, it's an e-ticket ride. What are you talking about?
Right.
It's a ride in the dark.
Yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah, it's hard. So yeah.
Right. And if Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, if that was in a different park, like, I don't know, like an Animal Kingdom, I don't know why I would be there. But if it was over there, where there's not as many attractions, it might even be more of an e-ticket. But I mean, it's like you guys said, it's in Hollywood Studios with all the amazing rides right now. So it's got a lot of competition in there. So
yeah, it does.
Well, thank you, Mike. Thanks for letting me call and give you a hard time.
Hey, anytime. I love this kind of stuff. You have a good night out in North Carolina, and don't be a stranger.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Man, the chat is blowing up about Soarin', though. Like, talk about Flight of Passage and Soarin'. Yeah, I will say, though, yeah, Soarin' over California cannot be beat compared to what we have now. But everyone, just go to France and watch Impressions de France, and you'll see the best film video in all of Epcot and all of the history. So don't do Soarin', just go to France at night.
You get a seat. A stationary seat. All right, we have our next call on the line. Hey, who is on the line? Whose turn is it tonight? Hi.
I'm Grace Butler.
Hi, Grace Butler. I'm Mike Rollman. How are you?
Are you the guy from the Disney podcast?
I am the guy from the Be Our Guest podcast. Yes.
Okay.
Most of the time.
I have a question about Walt Disney World.
Okay.
Do they have any Ferris wheels in Walt Disney World?
No, but my friend Scott, who is on here with us as well, he's been on a Ferris wheel, not at Walt Disney World, which I bet you have been on because it's at Disneyland.
Oh, so there's no Ferris wheels at Walt Disney World. I've been on one at Disneyland over water.
Oh. Now,
Grace, do you do the?
That's what I was going to ask.
When you ride that, do you do both options, or do you do the one that kind of like rocks back and forth, or do you do the one that stays still?
I think we do the one that like the normal Ferris wheel.
Okay. Both are good. Both options are really good.
The one that you would really do, like that turns round and round.
I have a friend, her name is Jocelyn, who went out to Disneyland, and she did one of the crazy like cars that spins around, and she said that was a big mistake. I was
in the car with her.
No, you were? I heard that story.
I had photos of her at the time.
I don't think she could handle it. I think those are for the very strong.
Yes.
For what I've heard.
It's fun, though. Grace, it's funny? I've actually done a Ferris wheel with Mike in go ahead. Go ahead, Grace.
Ride that made us like sick. It was so fast. We got like a tummy ache.
Yeah, same. Yeah, you gotta be careful of those. Yeah, dude, Scott was gonna say we've ridden now listen to this Ferris wheel that we rode together. This was crazy. Scott's gonna tell you. Listen.
Yeah. So I went to St. Louis, which is where Mike is from, and we rode a Ferris wheel on top of a building, a museum. Just two guys having a good old time looking over St. Louis. Downtown St. Louis is pretty awesome.
We were on a Ferris wheel on top of like a 15-story building that had a school bus hanging off the side. It was crazy.
Who would ever do that?
I know. That's what I'm saying. When I, do you have a best friend? You probably have a best friend, right?
I have about maybe 20.
Well, see, I only have one because I'm not as popular. But here's the thing. Scott's like my best friend. And like when we hang out, we do crazy stuff. And like when I'm doing stuff with myself, I probably wouldn't do it. But when we get together, we have like when you're with your friends, sometimes your friends make you do fun stuff. So I'm just life lesson. Be careful. Make sure you're always hanging out with good friends.
I've got a pretty good chat with. I chat with on my iPad. I chat so many times a day. I haven't chatted her because we were so busy. Guess what we did?
What's that?
We went to the hotel.
Nice.
And we're also going to have a yes day where the parents have to say yes to everything.
Ooh, I like that.
I heard there's a movie about that on Netflix.
Yes, we watched that.
Yeah, I
Have
heard.
you watched it? It's very good.
Now, see, I don't have Netflix because I guess I could steal my daughter's password, but we haven't done that because they're cracking down. But I saw a clip from that movie where the kids asked the parents to go to the car wash, and they had to roll down. They rolled down the windows and went through the car wash with the wind. You know what? I'm not saying yes to that. I'm not getting my car drowned like that.
A $25 budget, and that would not be even close to fixing the car.
No, you're exactly right.
Grace, you're so smart.
That's exactly
I'm
right.
just spinning round and round, so I'm getting a little dizzy.
That's okay. Well, I'm sitting still. Okay, so
by the way, I kind of have to go because my mom said to only spend like 2 minutes.
okay, well, that's okay. Hey, we're always every Sunday night. So when it's your turn, give us a call back, Grace.
Okay, my
nice.
my next call in is my sister. She's gonna call in next time.
Okay, we'll be waiting.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like it's crazy at the house. You better go take care of whatever's going on. We'll see you later, Grace.
Bye.
Bye, Grace. I remember her sister too, like Elora or Elrora, I think was her name. Yeah,
It's in the chat.
they're awesome.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Yes, I don't want to have anything to do with those spinning Mickey's Fun Wheel buckets.
But again, you do crazy things with your boy Scotty G.
Yeah.
It could happen.
Is there a La Cava del Tequila in because that's a California adventure, right?
Oh yeah, you do that, then you drink. You don't drink first, maybe.
I will get it. Nope, that's what we're gonna do. Like it's after, and then we got to ride the same bucket.
Okay, all right. I'm up for it. We need to get.
No,
Yeah, we need to get out there.
no, I do need to get out there. I do not need to get one of those buckets. You know how motion sick I get. That would be
Your boy Adam had a very similar experience too.
Yeah, I can see that. Oh my god, why do people do that to themselves? Like that's really like 50% of our local Six Flags. All it is stuff that, like, you know, I'm obviously over 40 years old. Like if you're over 40 years old, 75% of the things at Six Flags are just gonna make you sick. It's all they are.
It's fun though. It's fun.
Anyway, yeah, that was funny. Oh my gosh, I love those calls. And she was spinning while she was taking that call, so it was like next level. Should I have a chair that would spin, but probably get strangled by my headphone cord. So I don't want to do that. All right, 407-413-9395. Calls were coming in fast and furious here.
I saw a question in the chat about like a counter service to go to if you're at Magic Kingdom and just want to leave, like go to a resort. Gasparilla at Grand Floridian is my pick. You take a boat over there, awesome spot.
I agree. Is Captain Cook's open? That was always my go-to before.
Yeah, that's open right now.
Yeah, that's a good one too. But yeah, I'm with you on Gasparilla's. Man, I didn't ever go to the Grand Floridian before like you. We went to Grand Floridian Cafe a couple times after races because it was easy to get PDR, and like I
was
like,
romantic. You and I having a brunch by the window.
It was a Sunday morning brunch. Yeah.
I'll never forget the steak sauce. It's incident though.
And I mean, the thing is, I was intimidated by that hotel for years, right? I was like, I don't belong there. But it's, you know what? It's a hotel. I mean, it's got a theme. It's got a Victorian theme. They don't care. They just.
I mean, there was a barber shop for crying out loud at the Grand Floridian. So, I mean,
it's where my boy from State Farm was there. I get to see him there like a commercial. You know, like it's Jake from State Farm.
I see what you're saying, but it's a great hotel. It's a great resort. And that counter service, like I tell you, like that's been like one of my favorite things to do actually is leave the Magic Kingdom and go there. We've sat inside and like they take so good care of you. Like you say, hey, I got a mobile order. And a lot of times they'll be like, okay, well, you have to wait until your order is ready. They've told us multiple times, like, oh, just find a seat, take your masks off, relax a little bit. We'll get the food out to you. It's so nice.
I've always had this for years too. When you're at the Magic Kingdom, it is such a good idea to have even a table service dining reservation at like Wilderness Lodge or Trails End or the Wave or Kona, you know, what a Grand Floridian Cafe. It is just the Magic Kingdom is fun, but it is draining. And just to sit down in some air conditioning for like an hour and a half and have somebody bring you food.
Yeah. You know, another hidden gem right now is, Mike. I don't even know if I want to say it, but when you said Trails End, it made me think of that because Trails End is closed right now, but they have that counter service over there at the fort. And we've done that. And you can get a chicken dinner, like a full-size chicken dinner for like $30, like an 8-piece chicken dinner for like $30, like feed the whole family. And you take a nice boat ride over there. It's so peaceful and relaxing. Like I might be changing my answer now, actually, now that I think about it.
You're trying to kill me. We had Olivia call, and now you're telling me about food from Trails End.
It's basically the same food.
After the show to eat dinner tonight.
It's basically the same food, and you can get like the strawberry shortcake too.
Oh, dude, we were talking about Trails End today because after Mallory's competition, one of the other families, obviously on the team, we went and had barbecue for lunch, and of course, everybody. She's probably listening. Charlie's mom up in they live in Springfield, Illinois, so they're probably on their way home. And we were talking about the trip. She got when they're going down, she got on the day of arrival. We arrive on a Thursday. She got an ADR for 4 for her family for Topolino's Terrace.
Ooh.
But here's the deal. She's kicking her kids out. So it's now a adults only Topolino's Terrace dinner. Her kids don't get to go because Pam and I are going to go.
Are you for real? Dude, we need to chat about that restaurant. It is the best. Oh my God. I was going
to ask you. Okay. So I feel like I'm the last person on earth not to be to Topolino's. Been to the Rib a bunch of times. Mm-hmm. So what am I going to expect for dinner? Like what was something you enjoyed? Now remember, I'm not fancy. I'm not you. So what do you say?
So the filet is outstanding. The steak, probably one of the best fillets I've ever had. I'll send you some photos. Robert actually got me onto this fish that they have, the sole fish, and it's like stuffed with potatoes. Like, oh my gosh, it's so good. But you got to do the mozzarella appetizer. No, it's ricotta. I think it's the ricotta appetizer. One of the best appetizers I've ever had. It's so good.
I wouldn't know the difference. It's all good.
Dude, but like, oh my God. So you're going to go to a signature restaurant without your boy. Oh my gosh. I got to crash this.
I mean, she offered it up. Like I was under, she's like, dude, we got ADR for 4 Topolinos. And, nobody else knows where it is. Like, I'm like, so, Mallory was all cool. Like, cause she said this in front of like Mallory, like she wants to stay at Riviera, right? This is like her thing. She bugs me about it constantly. I'm like, nope, we're a Pop Century family. We're not a Riviera family. I don't know what you think I do for a living. I don't rob banks. But the thing is, like she said this and I'm like, yeah, sure. We'll go to Topolino's. And I knew nobody at the table like Pam or Mallory knew. Like they just, some restaurant, who cares? Then I had to tell her, I'm like, it's that. She's like, what's that one? I'm like, it's the one on the top of the Riviera.
Dude, you know how much I love Narcoossee's and California Grill. Like I would put it up there right now as like the best. It's so good.
Well, plus, see, this is the hack, right? I'm just going with my wife. So if I was taking 4 of us, it'd be twice as much.
There you go. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to hear man, now I want to go.
She also offered us to join her at other places. So Wine Bar George, I've never been there. Have you been there?
I've been there. That's a good spot.
It's a good spot for me though. I'm not really a wine guy
so I did So I did they have this like steak and like this huge like steak that you can share like for 2. Like you and Pam would totally tear that up. It'd be so good. You would like it.
And then she's like, we have some place called Art Smith's. I'm like, whoa. You have a top of that? I'm in.
Yeah. Especially the brunch, right?
My God. She's like, I heard it has bad reviews. Like people say you can get that food anywhere. I'm like, where are you getting your information? I'm like, it ain't coming from our podcast. I love that place.
That's funny. Man, like she's done some good planning.
Yes. So dude, she has so many ADRs because they're staying like for like a week after the competition. So she has like sci-fi, good one. Wine Bar George, Topolino's. She was listing them off. She's definitely hooked up, so it'll be fun.
As long as she's not at Olivia's and taking spots there, right?
I'm going to Olivia's for sure. You know that. Actually, I took her to Olivia's because we didn't obviously compete last year because of the pandemic. The year before, I was like, we were just like sitting around. I'm like, I can get us the best dinner right now. I bet you in 30 minutes we can be eating dinner and it's going to be awesome. We got an immediate ADR for Olivia's. She loved it. So make it happen.
That's awesome. Now I'm hungry, Mike.
I know, me too. And I have my dinner. So we need to duck out of here. And plus, if you're listening to this on the feed, maybe you're doing your run or your walk. I apologize. It always ends up this way. But hey, I listened to a whole This was the worst. Because I listen to all kinds of this random It's what I love about podcasts. Like the more random and like dude in his basement or garage, like the podcast is, the better it is for me. I listened to the show called The Retroist about retro things. It was a whole podcast for 35 minutes about the McRib the other morning while I was running. You know how hard that was? I'm like, oh my God.
Dude, I love taking deep dives on just like random stuff like that. That is so awesome.
McRib. Anyway, okay, so we're going to get out of here. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're always live on Sunday nights, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. Give us a call. We talk about the news of the week, and sometimes there's ADRs that are popping up. We don't know.
And tune in next week for a deep dive on the Ball Street Burger from Olivia's.
Absolutely at the Duval. Yes. Yeah. So we'll do that next week. Don't forget you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at BRGuestPod, at BRGuestMike, and of course, Facebook and YouTube. And the Magic for Less brings you the show. So check them out over at themagicforless.com. All right. We're going to be back on the feed tomorrow, obviously, with a panel show as we do every Friday. We'll be back next Sunday night, 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock Central. We want you to be here with us. Thanks for joining us. For Scotty G, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Sunday night. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Good stuff.
That was awesome. Last 5 minutes was just talking about food. I love that.
Yeah, it was. That was my lunch conversation today, so that was good.
Yeah.
Chris is coming to St. Louis. We got to find him a good place to eat. I'm still working on that because he's graduating from Lindenwood, which is right down the street from me. He's from California.
Dude, I like that spot that I found, that barbecue joint. I'm trying to remember what it's called.
Hendrix.
Oh my God, that place is so good.
We went there the other night, first time since the pandemic, and it wasn't as good. They were but the waitress wasn't good. I think if we got a better waitress, we'd been fine. So yeah, that is probably the spot to go to.
Yeah.
All right, Nicole. Hey, thanks for tuning in down in Australia. Happy fall. Thanks for giving us spring back. We appreciate that down the Southern Hemisphere. Thanks everybody for joining us. This is always so much fun. I love doing these things, and I hope you guys enjoy hanging out with us. So very much fun. All right, I'll let you go. You're not getting Qdoba. I'm getting Taco Bell.
I think I'm gonna do Noodles and Company.
I've never had that. We do have them in Colombia, not here though. So.
Okay.
Is it just noodles?
Yeah, it's like a pasta. It's like a counter service pasta. Like I don't know like what kind of category I put it in. It's not like you can sit inside, but it's not like table service quality.
Describe something, you'll get called out on it.
I know, I'm worried now, but it's not actually on the show. But
is it an enhanced noodle?
Yes. But there's great. It's a build your own though, so you can pick like this is the kind of pasta I want. This is the kind of sauce I want. This is the kind of protein I want. I said kind of weird protein, but
but I think I learned that at Satuli Canteen. Like that's when I first started saying that.
Exactly. So it's kind of like that, yeah. Except it's just pasta instead. So lots of awesome options. So I always do the same one though. That's the problem. I go with the same one every single time.
Same. That's my life. Yeah. I do the same thing every day of the week.
Okay. I do penne with this like cream sauce and then like Parmesan crusted chicken. So good.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for doing this, and I'll be texting you.
All right. I'll talk to you later, man.
All right. See you. Take care. Bye. All right, everybody. We'll see you later. We'll be back tomorrow night at around 5:45 Eastern. Come on over. Pam and Ricky joining me. Thanks for hanging out with us. I sure appreciate it. Yeah, Mike. Hey, Mike. Hope you're doing well. Miss you guys. Oh my gosh. Yes. That was Mike picks ADRs at the end of the show because there were no calls.